Now, I was actually strangely surprised to see this film was actually really good. Now, The Raven is a film that I hadn't seen any trailers for. I didn't know who was going to be in it. I only saw a billboard of it, so I was really surprised and quite curious to see how good this film was going to be, and I actually thought it was really good. Let me just get into the plot of the story for now. The story follows the main protagonist, Edgar Allan Poe, who is a struggling poet slash author for a newspaper, right? And he gets called upon by Detective Fields to help him investigate a crime of grisly murders that are based on his poems. And later on, the love of his life from Poe, Emily, gets kidnapped by this murderer, and now it's kind of a race against time to try and save her, but also trying to figure out who's next and where's the connection between the poems. Now, what's good about the film? Well, John Cusack gives a really good performance, believing that he is Poe, the sort of world-renowned famous poet. And but I feel like who actually stole the show quite a bit more was Luke Evans, who played Detective Fields. So like, he was really the kind of like, he was like the Grissom of that era. Like he knew like how, you know, he grabbed onto this woman's sort of neck to see her, like, because she was choked. She knew that he was about 8, like this guy had big hands and quite strong, and also kind of saw the connection between these murders to Poe's poems. But the one surprise was this girl, this hot blonde girl. I was looking, I was thinking, do you know what? I've seen her somewhere. I've seen her somewhere in a film. It wasn't until I got home, or until I went on my phone and actually, you know, IMDb'd it, and I found out it's Alice Eve from She's Way Out Your League. I was like, jeez, that's where I recognise her. And yeah, she was quite hot. Now, I love the setting of the film. Like, I love, do you know what? There's something about that era that seems quite dark, where a lot of murders do kind of happen, and the gore, like for the start of the film, is really good. It doesn't really sort of pick up after that, but then there's like that one scene where the murderer kind of jumps, he kind of like does it, and these guys, you know, throats getting slashed. You're like, oh, that is really good. Now, what's kind of bad about the film? It doesn't really leave quite a lot of clues to who this sort of guy is. Like, the thing is, you don't really get to know who the guy is until, or like find out what the clues are until later, like really much later on. So normally like killers leave something, or like normally these kind of killers would normally leave something behind. Like the only clue they were giving is that they were being constructed by this guy's poems. But to be honest, that's like easier said than done, and most people do get inspiration from stuff like that, so that wasn't really much a big of a clue. I've probably got to say the ugly thing I didn't really like about the film was it kind of dragged a little bit. You know, you're kind of sitting there and you're really like in tune to what's happening, but you're kind of thinking nothing like really solid is happening. It's just like they're trying just to make stuff up, and you kind of feel that, you know, the film could have been a bit shorter than it is. So to me, I don't really like a lot of dragging films, because I find it does, if they're trying to drag the film on to meet a certain time length, then you know the film is shorter than it should be, but because of the whole dragness, you know, it would just make me so tired. But all in all, I actually really love this film, so I'm going to give it a really great score. But for the number side, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Like, I really do like it. I probably will buy it on Blu-ray, but the thing is, I'm going to wait a while. It's because they're not going to release kind of like the special edition of this film. It's not revolutionary. It's not really like outstanding. Like, you'll probably see this film, you'll watch it a couple of times, but you won't remember much of it. So it'll just be one of the news films you'll see in the telly, and you're like, oh, this is on. Well, that's that review. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you guys later.